Welcome to Strengthening Creativity, a mind and body Pilates approach. Are you ready to breathe, move, and flow?
Start with a roll down. Start in a neutral spine. Brace your core. Round the shoulders and sink down towards the floor. Feel the weight of your body sink back over your heels. Inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth.
Notice what you feel in your body in your roll down. What type of breath do you need at this time? What would it be like to nod your head yes and nod your head no? If it seems nourishing to your body, feel free to nod your head based on what you are needing to hear. Take a moment to notice your breath. Now take a moment to notice what your brain is telling you. When your mind begins to wander, bringing it back to this very moment. When your brain begins to resist this very moment, thank your brain for your humanness and come back to this moment. Throughout this class, be patient with yourself. The notion of an unwavering mind is a fantasy. You have to practice. You cannot just decide to have unfettered attention. Today we are going to practice. Thanking yourself for having the patience and courage to practice with us today.
Let's restock the spine. Bring the shoulders to move back over the waist. We'll begin with footwork in a parallel position. Neutral posture with the spine tall. Begin to lift and lower your heels. Keep the ankles right over the center of each foot. Gaze at a fixed object and keep your core engaged to help assist you with balance.
How does it feel to rise and lower slowly? Now, how does it feel to rise and lower quickly? How about alternating your feet? Think of a flashlight shining a light on where you want to put your attention. Is it possible to move your breath into this spotlight?
Shift to Pilates V. Glue the heels together and keep the toes separated. Turn out from the hips and wrap the back of the legs towards your spine. As you lift and lower your heels, notice your balance and add arm work to either support your balance or add a challenge. Arms can move up to a T or they can move out overhead for a challenge.
Moving your arms overhead, how does this impact your balance? Imagine your arms reaching above you and grabbing what you are needing, wanting, and desiring in your life. The stories we tell ourselves about what we are worthy or unworthy of are the stories that shape our lives. Our language creates our reality. Practice speaking kindly to yourself.
External rotation, wide stance. Feet move outside the frame of your body. Recall the progressions from before by adding arm work if your practice allows. Repeat as many times as you feel comfortable.
Does the way you communicate with yourself change based on internal or external rotation?
We'll shift to internal rotation here. Hips knock in and your feet pigeon toe out in towards the center of the room or in towards your hips. Continue elevating the heels and adding the option to challenge the work by opening up the arms or extending those arms overhead. I'm going to keep my hands out to a T to help me with balance.
And when you are ready, moving into standing saw.
Let's stand wide with our feet once again. Arms open out to that T. Begin to rotate your torso from right to left, keeping the pelvis still. For assistance with balance, separate the feet even more by stepping outside the width of your hips.
Begin to think about a time you felt good being creative.
Hold your squat here.
As your arms become heavy, asking yourself, what is preventing me from expressing myself creatively? What feelings, beliefs, or memories are getting in the way? Few things hinder us more profoundly than our own beliefs about what we deserve, and few things free us more powerfully then daring to broaden our horizons and giving ourselves permission for happiness. Now, if you are ready, we will enter into bridge and bridge creativity.
Let's lay on our back. We'll press the low back into the floor and peel each piece of vertebra away from the floor at a time. We'll pause at the top of our bridge with the hips lifted in an isometric hold. Begin to lift the heels. Opposite heel to opposite hand will lift and tap. Keep the hips on a level plane as you raise one foot and then the other.
Remembering all the times you were a good problem solver, a creative thinker. All these experiences you have held and hold. These experiences make you your creative self. Now imagine expressing yourself creatively in whatever form you wish. Now alternating rising and lowering your left and right, and beginning to tap in that positive image or memory. Bringing up that image of you creating. If you want to increase the challenge, bringing your arms to your hips and tap opposite of your feet, left, right, however long the image stays positive. You can also keep your hands on the ground and tap left, right. Are there any encouraging words or music that can go with this positive image or memory that you would like to add? If so, add these words or music to this image or memory. When you are done tapping, roll down and either elongate your body if you are wanting to be open to creativity, or roll into a ball if you are needing to be more personal with your creativity. As you are in a ball or elongated, feel free to switch if needed. Feel free to rotate side to side if that feels good. Thinking about what qualities or resources are needed to help you reach creativity.
A leg lift. We'll imprint the spine and begin to lift and lower the legs. Keep the low back pinned to the floor. Let's point the ankles as the legs lift. You'll flex the feet as the legs lower. Begin to lift the head, neck, and shoulders into your chest lifted position if you'd like that greater challenge.
Lifting in creativity and lowering what you are hoping to let go of. Imagine a friend that is creativity blocked. What advice would you give that friend? What would it be like if you took that advice yourself? With your hands tapping on your hips, the ground, legs, or wherever you feel comfortable, tap in that advice. Adding in cue words to strengthen the image of creativity. And then moving into scissor.
With legs extended, we'll lower one leg down and switch. Optional use of hands to provide support around the top calf or quad. The head can be down or raised if you'd like a greater challenge.
What color is creativity to you? What shape? What texture? Now thinking about a supportive person in your life that models creativity. What feelings do you have around that person? What qualities does this person hold? How has this person helped you, or how could this person or these people help you? What expression is on this person's face as they speak to you? People need people. We are social beings. We need each other. Now we will move into side body work.
Let's lay on our right hip, right shoulder. Knees are going to bend together. Cinch the lower rib, creating a small space between the rib cage and the floor. Top leg is going to extend, and you'll begin to lift and lower it in that parallel position. Lift the leg with a pointed foot. Lower the leg with a flexed foot. You may alternate the footwork if that's in your practice to do so, or keep the foot pointed or flexed for a modified option. During unilateral work, both the smaller and the larger muscles work together to improve muscular balance and joint stability. Here we are engaging abs, inner thighs and outer thighs, as well as shoulders and back to isolate the movement to our hip joint.
Begin to remember a time that you had the support you needed and desired in your life by a family member, friend, teacher, or coach. How did they help you persevere despite being afraid? Now we will move into hundreds. During hundreds, tap in that support system and their perseverance.
We'll lay on our back again. Breathe during hundreds, sensationalizing the abdominal floor. We'll lengthen the arms up and elevate the legs to a tabletop position. Your exhale will rid the body of CO2, and your inhale will fuel the body with oxygen, thus energizing your muscles but also stimulating your mind. We'll begin to pump the arms as the spine stays in imprint, elevating the head, neck, and shoulders if that's in your practice to do so. You're inhaling for 5 counts and exhaling for 5 counts.
Activating your senses. What do you notice in your body? What are you feeling? What breath do you need to turn to? As we move on to the other side to balance out your body.
We'll lay on our left hip, left shoulder. Bend the knees in and begin to lift and lower the top leg. Keeping the foot parallel, you'll begin to flex the foot as the leg lifts, point the toe as the leg lowers. You do have the option to hold either a flexed foot or a pointed foot if that works best for you. I want you to focus on deep belly breathing, exhaling out of your mouth, and then inhaling through your nose.
Bringing up the image of you being confidently creative. What other senses are needed to fill in the visual of you being confidently creative? What smell, taste, sight, sound, touch? Acknowledging how hard your whole body is working at this time. Appreciating yourself for your strength as we move into a stretch.
We'll go into figure 4, taking the right leg and crossing it over the opposite knee, flexing your foot to protect the knee.
Going back to your breath. Deep stomach breaths in through your nose, holding at the top, and slowly exhaling out through your mouth.
Crisscross. Let's go ahead and canopy the head. The legs will start in a 90-degree bend or tabletop position. Begin to extend the right leg out in front of the hip and rotate your torso to the left. If your back or neck begins to feel tender, you'll lower your head down and continue the movement with only the legs. Regardless, your pelvis stays still here. You're avoiding any movement in your shoulder. Focus on twisting and spiraling the spine from right to left.
Imagine yourself in the future being creative. Imagine what you are doing. Imagine you are doing what you want to do creatively. Imagine in as much detail as possible. Imagine yourself in the future being creative and creating as we move into plank.
We'll anchor the knees, push the hands into the floor, and begin to elevate both legs back. Abdominals engage and the pelvis is hovering away from the floor. Optional modification here is dropping to your knees and keeping a diagonal position from your shoulders down to your hips and the knees. You have a neutral curve in the low back, a strong core.
Plank uses your whole body. Thanking your body for having the strength to participate today and taking the time to nourish your mind and body. Taking a moment to think about What actions would you like to take to move forward in a creative direction? What is the smallest first step you can take? Now imagine taking that step.
Bird dog. Kneeling on all fours, the wrists underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Keep the spine and the pelvis still. Extend the right arm in front of your shoulder and carefully lower it back down to switch. If your torso remains still, extend the leg opposite from your arm. That will add a stability challenge. Do what feels best for you in your practice. I'm going to aim for 7 reps on each side here.
Thank you for exploring this Pilates class wave. We hope it guides you through the rest of your day. If you like this class, please provide us with a thumbs up, a comment, and subscribe to participate in future Mind and Body Pilates, a Wellness Approach classes.